Mmm.
I'm about to record an Educator Shout Out interview with my housemate, who is also one of the most incredible educators that I have ever met, Alison Kimmel.
Nata. Watch me as I drink my tea. Did you record it? You're such a jerk. You're such a jerk.
Oh, I didn't, it wasn't the whole thing though, it's just part of it. Hello? Is this thing on?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, it's Kayla Ebbe with the Educator Chipotle Challenge, doing an Educator Shout Out interview with one of the most incredible human beings I have ever met.
You're biased.
I also pay her rent.
Yeah, pay me rent.
But she's so generous and kind in all the ways, and in all of the ways of her life. So, who are you? What is your role? And how long have you been in that role? And all the things.
I am Alison Kimmel. I am a teacher at Da Vinci Charter Academy. I have been teaching, I want to say this is either my 29th or 30th year being on campus as an educator. I started out as a paraeducator for special education, working particularly with students with emotional disturbance. And a few years into that, I got my credential and taught special ed for 16 years. And then moved into teaching an elective course at Da Vinci called Research and Communication for all the new students. And last year I got credentialed in health, and now I teach health as well.
So exciting. Allie, who inspired you to become an educator?
I actually never thought I'd be an educator. If anyone asked me when I was in school if I were to consider being a teacher, I would have probably laughed at them. I didn't have an awful school experience. It just wasn't, it didn't stand out. But probably the teacher that inspired me the most was my 6th grade teacher named Vicki Brown. And I moved the summer before 6th grade. And in LA, our schools were K through 6. And so I had moved to a new school where everybody had been with each other for a really long time. It was the first time my brother wasn't on my campus, so I truly didn't know anyone. And I was pretty upset. And I entered 6th grade with a really negative attitude. And I didn't really have any smiles or any positive anything for my teacher, Vicki, who was a first-year teacher at the time. And I just remember being so angry and just given her attitude as much as I could. And I'm not sure what happened at some point. She must have gotten through, because that anger and resentment just turned into just love and care. And I can't give you any specifics. I don't remember anything specifically about that year, other than just knowing that she saw past my anger and past my frustration, and she hung in there and just loved me through it. And at the end of the school year, she gave each student a handmade award, and mine was the Hate Love Award, because it really kind of expressed how I came in so angry and how she was able to break through and change that. So I would definitely say she was the first educator, and probably the only educator, that I really connected with in a significant way through my whole school career.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Allie, besides Vicki Brown, did anybody or anything else in your experience inspire you to become an educator?
I don't know so much that any of the folks inspired me to become an educator, but there certainly are people and situations that influenced how I teach and kind of my philosophy. I'm not going to say her name because this would not be a positive shout out, but there was a teacher in junior high school that did the opposite of what Vicki did. My mother was diagnosed with cancer while I was in junior high school, and I was living in a household with a brother who, lovely human though he is, was pretty volatile, and there was a lot of fighting and anger and yelling. And so by the 8th grade, as much as I tried to hold it together, my attitude came back. And I had a teacher who, instead of being able to see past it, almost encouraged it, kind of met me with anger. And so, being the person who I am, I kind of saw that as a challenge. And so I really rose to the occasion. It was the only time I ever got sent to the office for just disrespect and defiance, and I absolutely 100% earned it. But as I reflect back on the educators that made me who I am, I definitely think a combination of Vicky, who was able to see past my wall and break through it, and the other teacher who really just took me at face value and immediately challenged me back. It has really shaped how I choose to look at students and really look at life in many ways. During my either first or second year that I was working at, back then it was Emerson, the campus that we share with Da Vinci, as a paraeducator, I worked with a young man who was quite fantastic, and at the same time we were really good at pushing each other's buttons for some reason. I was in my early 20s, so there wasn't much age difference, and he was not happy about being in school. It was his least favorite place to be. His name was Dan Moreno, and I remember that I took him home almost every night trying to figure out, how can I reach him? How can we start every day with a smile rather than frustration? And how can we keep it that way? And I truly struggled with how to get to that part of him that Vicky was able to see in me. And I never quite got it. And the summer after that school year, I took him home with me in my heart, and I just was envisioning a different year and trying different approaches and different strategies, and suddenly heard word in the middle of the summer that he had passed away. He just out of the blue died. And I went to the memorial service with my colleagues and saw a young man that I had actually really never met before. There was a beautiful tribute, both in words and in videos and in images, and I saw this young man smile, really probably for some of the first times, and laugh, and people described him, and I thought, oh my gosh, I did not know him at all. And I missed him. That somehow, in spite of my attempts to really see him, I missed him. And so I would say it's probably a combination of Vicky and Dan and the other teacher, whom I still won't name, that really taught me viscerally to always find the student, always look behind any behavior, any negativity, to start every single day fresh. And I have to say, I find them a lot. Not always. I wish I could say always. But
like 97% of the time is a pretty darn good
It's a pretty
number.
high percentage. I work very hard at it. I actually gravitate toward the students who are pushing me away, and I gravitate towards those who are the hardest to reach. And I find that I just draw from Dan tremendously. I draw from Vicky tremendously, and I also draw from the other teacher, because I don't want to miss a student ever again.
Wow.
Yeah. This, by the way, I brought an artifact. This, by the way, is Dan. Pretty phenomenal young man. Still with me today.
Yes. May he be resting in peace.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And special neighborhood guest, Elsa. Meow, 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 meow. Hi, sweet girl. Allie,
Yes.
what mental health challenges do you see our students facing, and how do you believe we can support them?
I definitely see what seems like an increase in anxiety, depression. Some years more than others. You know, some years are pretty heavy with students struggling with mental health issues. I definitely see more supports than I've seen before, but I also know that often it's not enough. You, my dear, are often overworked, having to make choices between, do I do the administrative part of my job? Do I see the students? Because sometimes it seems like it's overwhelming to do both. So I guess I would say more resources for students who are struggling. I'm not sure if the camera gets this hummingbird that's flying in. Oh man. Yeah, sorry to be distracted, but this beautiful hummingbird just flew into our space here. We'll see if she comes back. Or he.
Yeah.
Or they, really. I haven't asked them. So I would just say, significant challenges appear to be happening more frequently. I know that services, I'm not sure if they're diminishing or if just they're not, the needs are just getting too big for them. But I just know both at school, I see your struggle, and then even, coming home, I see that your days can wear on you. And so definitely more services are needed and more good people. We're fortunate that we have you. I know lots of schools aren't so lucky. We have you full time. I know a lot of counselors, whether it's this district or other districts, travel from school to school, and caseloads. I mean, even your caseload at 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
is pretty ridiculous, but I know it gets even worse, and so
Yeah, I'm super fortunate. I mean, I have a caseload that is, I think, the closest to the recommended student to counselor ratio from the American School Counselor Association. So I'm grateful for that. But it's not necessarily a numbers game per se, because the caseload at 400 can feel and be different than somebody at even 180, depending on the needs of the students.
Yeah.
For sure. What about teachers? Do you believe that you are equipped to support students with mental health challenges or challenges from things that they're dealing with in their family dynamics? Where do you stand on that?
I can just speak of myself. I mean, I graduated in psychology with a bachelor's degree, and mental health has been something that's always been near and dear to me, both from my unique, maybe not so unique experiences growing up, to studying it. I then became a special educator specializing in students with emotional disturbance. And so I personally feel mostly comfortable incorporating just all student needs in my classroom as much as I can, including students who struggle with mental health issues. At times it can be overwhelming depending upon the number of students in each class or in each year, or just the level of their need.
Right.
I don't know that all educators feel as I do, just because they don't have the background. I worked, actually, before I was an educator, I worked in a group home with young boys who struggled with emotional disturbance and who were in foster care, and so, again, I do feel pretty comfortable with that population, but I do know that it also can be very overwhelming for teachers who don't have the experience or even just the comfort level of working with students who just require a very different way of teaching and connecting with them.
Do you have any tips for any educators that may be watching who are trying to navigate that area and may not have that level of experience that you do, but things that they could try in their classroom like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Even though they're not in school yet. But
I guess in some ways, and I don't know if this is the right thing to say as an educator, but in some ways I would just say, sometimes it's not what you teach that's important. It's not your curriculum. It's not delivering the instruction. As much as we want to believe that students are going to walk away with this huge knowledge that they've learned from us, that's really not what they walk away with.
Yeah.
And I would say being able to put that aside as needed and just learn and get to know the student figuring out what they need, asking them what you can do to support them. I mean, they're going to be the best ones who can tell you that, and then deciding what you're able to do, and realizing that you can't fix the situation, and you might not even be able to provide what they need. And so just taking some time to figure out what you can do and what you can't do, and then finding the resources for the situations and the moments where you can't meet those students' needs, because again, I mean, you know, regardless of experience or background, you just can't meet all the needs. And so just having a plan and having the compassion and understanding for yourself that, you know, you do what you can do, but, you know, behind the mental illness and behind the behaviors and behind all of that is just a beautiful soul who's just really doing the best that they can. So trying to put that in the forefront more so than the curriculum or the tests or, you know, the attendance or the behaviors or any of those things.
Right. Other than what you just shared about mental health specifically, what advice would you share with an aspiring educator, generally speaking?
I would say be sure that this is what you want to do. We don't become teachers for the paycheck. We don't become teachers for the glory or even the praise. And it's really hard. It's really hard. It's really difficult at times. I find that it kind of ebbs and flows. Sometimes it feels easy, and when it's hard, it's really hard. Be prepared to pay attention to when the hard parts start really outweighing the good parts. Teaching isn't something that you can or should stay in when you're done. So just be open to knowing that, you know, maybe like me, you'll want to teach, you know, and just keep teaching till they carry you out in a wheelbarrow. And maybe you'll be an educator who, after a few years, realizes this isn't for me, or this grade level isn't for me, or, you know, and just listen to that voice inside of you, because the students hear it, and the students see it, and the students know, and you really do have to be able to be there for them. You know, again, curriculum is there, you teach them, that's good, but really I believe as an educator, our job is to, you know, we can't teach students anything, we can't teach anyone anything if we're not connected with them, and if we don't have rapport with them. And when burnout happens or when frustration gets too big, that's actually what gets sacrificed, is the ability to build rapport, because it's difficult and it's a lot more challenging than teaching the curriculum. And so I guess that would just be my advice. You know, go in there, love the students, love what you do, have an outlet for the frustrations, be good to yourselves, and if in fact you're finding that you are not feeling the joy, again, not continuously, but the joy doesn't outweigh the frustration, then just be open to letting someone else step in who can sustain that. I just think it's too important. I think there are a lot of jobs in the world that you can just kind of fake and do it for the paycheck and do it for the glory or for whatever, but I don't think teaching is one of them. I think teaching you have to have the heart for, and you know, sometimes the job itself can make it hard to sustain that.
It's hard work to do the heart work.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Alison.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna pause this here. I got a kitty in my lap. It's hard
You
to.
should probably give me the cat. You stole her.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
we can look back and see that I
think
did
that's accurate.
nothing.
I don't think that recorded it accurately.
I did.
I actually think you stopped the camera, ripped her off of my lap.
Right.
And I'm bitter. I'm actually very bitter about that. Yeah. I'm not sure why she's so calm and asleep. You probably medicated her.
Wow, this psychology background really has done something to her brain.
Yeah.
And to her perception.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think we should rewatch that.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
of course
should.
you can't, because you can't stop it because there's a cat on your lap. And I am not going to move because I'm mad that you took my cat. Of course, I taken the cat from the neighbors because it's really the neighbor's cat that I keep
Although,
calling.
in your defense, you did nothing to take the cat from the neighbors. The
Right?
the cats have just, on their own free will, decided that this home feels like home to them, and they just
Unlike your lap, which again you lured her into.
you are clearly having big feelings about
Yeah,
that.
see, I'll get her.
So-
Come here, Elsa. Come here, Elsa. Come here. Come here. See, she's stirring now.
Yeah, she's like,
Come here.
Oh, God.
Oh, here you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, watch her just go and
Come
sit down
here.
on my lap again. Just
Oh,
lay
I'm sorry.
down
Was that a
on
little
my
bit of a
lap.
forceful?
No,
downward
that
cut?
is not.
Come here,
Hi,
sweetheart.
sweet girl,
I know you want
Elsa.
to be here. I know.
Whose lap are you on?
Oh,
Whose
dear.
lap are you
oh,
on?
dear. Oh, there we go. Yes.
Elsa.
You are very,
Oh,
very,
she hasn't
very
gone
bright girl.
fully.
Come here.
Oh, sweet
Oh,
girl.
look.
Oh, look at the
Look-
belly
oh,
rub.
dear. Oh, the belly rub. Not the belly rub.
Oh, wow.
Come here.
Elsa's such a sweet girl. Who
Oh.
saved you when you were out in front of our house?
Look
and
at
you-
my delicious
you had some
tea.
owies.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness. We bonded. that
I'll just
day.
put this right here. Now look at
Yeah.
me. I'm like sort of
Wow. Oh, goodness.
luring her with thoughts
Tea.
of tea. Yeah, she will not be moved.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh dear. I got
sweet
nothing.
girl.
I got nothing.
Sweet Elsa
Oh my
girl.
goodness.
Hi, Mama.
Touche. I got
All right.
nothing.
Well, Elsa, can you go and
Yes,
paw
we're
your
just
way
gonna
to
keep
stop
this
the
on.
video?
No.
What are you gonna do? You know, you can only do so much to get somebody to drink the water.
Oh, you're almost there, Kayla. Here, let me help.
Alison,
Kayla.
Azigin,
Kajiet.
what advice would you? We have no fun together.
No fun.
No fun to be had
fun.
here.
No fun.
For fun's sake.
Kayla,
Allison.
I'm ready for my question.
All right. Allison, what advice would you share with your teenage self?
Well, I would definitely tell my teenage self to find more people. You know, I can't really imagine that in my whole school career there was only one Vicky Brown. You know, I can't imagine that there was only one person that I could have connected with. In fact, you know, I could actually shout out two people that I know for sure who really tried. There was a counselor in high school. I believe her name was Larice Summers, and a teacher also in high school, Nina Williams, and both of whom really tried to reach out to me. This was during the time that my mom was actually very, very sick, and I just wouldn't let them in. You know, it was just too much. And I guess if I were to be able to magically go back and talk to myself, I would say, let them in. You know, let those who wanted to support me. You know, don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Don't minimize. You know, the needs that are there. I think that it would have been nice to have a little bit more comfort and support. And so that's what I would say to me, and that's, I guess, what I would say to young adults now. You know, look for your people, and when you find them or when they reach out and find you, because those two educators absolutely were reaching out, let them get you.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the class, aka educators or students or people watching this video?
I think teaching is amazing. I think we have such a huge responsibility, and it's so much fun. You know, laugh every single day. What's that phrase? Don't take yourself too seriously, but there's some serious, like, yeah, whatever that one is.
Some serious fun to be
serious fun to be had, but you know, yeah, there's a great quote in there that I can't even quote, but just be happy and have fun and be kind and be flexible and just love what you do. Whatever it is, whether it's teaching or something else, just love what you do. And if not, if you're able to, go find what you love and try to do it. And then find your people. 'Cause, you know, people are good.
People are good.
Yeah.
People like you are great.
People like you are great.
Don't copy me.
Don't you
Don't
copy me.
copycat
Don't
me.
copycat me.
Elsa, come here. We need to settle something again.
What if you have this clip before Elsa was introduced to the camera? Then it looks like you're just looking at the floor, calling the floor Elsa. That's
Well,
different.
I think that's still better than your whole clip of like trying to get Elsa to come to you and then
Wow.
telling
Wow.
them
Are we going
and
there?
me that,
Especially
that
if I haven't
Elsa-
seen it yet.
well,
So you're
they're
just
going to
preparing
see
them
it.
to see me being rather pathetic. Is that really what's happening? You're sort of setting them up,
I'm just gonna
foreshadowing
leave
the...
you know,
Wow.
that's what a good
Wow.
director, actor.
Kayla Rent is due.
This is not true. I've already
Supplemental
I've already-
rent, Kayla. Supplemental.
whether the cat part
Wow.
is before or after
Wow.
this part, there's just a couple
Really
things in
not
there
sure.
that well,
Yeah.
she is so stable. She's like amazing right now.
Amazing.
She's so great. She's like
Great.
living her best life.
Living my best life.
I'm so proud of you for
Thanks.
living your best life.
Hey, thanks.
And
Can I shout out my son just because I love him so much?
yeah, who's your son?
My son is Daniel Kimmel. He is a soon-to-be ninth grader. I guess you would call him
My
a ninth
gosh,
grader.
he is
at
a ninth
Da Vinci
grader.
Charter Academy.
He is.
Best part of his school day next year will be taking health from me because
Yep.
every teenager wants their parent to teach them sexual health. He is so excited about it. He almost can't even talk about it without tearing up a bit. So I cannot wait for that. But he's a great, great, great young man, and
Yeah.
I guess I can shout him out too.
You sure can.
So I did,
And you did.
and I did.
And he's
Can
a
I
great
shout out you?
human. I'm not gonna stop you.
Stop it, please.
Ah.
Kayla Jean Ebbe is an amazing human being as well. She's an amazing counselor. She's an amazing housemate. She's an amazing friend. She's an amazing family of choice. And I love what you're doing with this. Ellen, hello.
Oh,
Hello, Ellen.
hi, Ellen.
This one right here, get Miss Ebbe on your show. She's incredible. What she is doing, the amount, believe me, I know the amount of time she spends doing this because she comes home and after work she keeps going. And she spends her weekends and her free time with students. Even before the challenge, she sees their games, she hangs out with them. This is truly, you are truly one of the better humans on the planet. Maybe one of the best humans on the planet. I don't know all the humans. I don't know that I want to. I'm more introverted than that. But were I to meet all the humans, I definitely think that you would be right up there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for hearing my words and interviewing me.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm famous and I'm being with Ellen. Hey, Ellen! Are we going to walk again to the mailbox so we can mail Ellen her, 98th letter?
That is correct,
98th
Allie.
letter. I think we
98.
should do that.
Let's go do
I think
that.
we should stroll to the mailbox.
Let's go do
Get
that.
ready, Ellen. This is the one that you're going to see. I know it is. Get Miss Ebbe on your show. Get Miss Ebbe on your show. Look at that face. She dances too. Oh, she can bust a move
and
like...
the letter for today is actually noting the Watch Me Work It at Work challenge, which
Oh,
our
she
team
works
of
it.
educators
Except for the
partook
introverted one.
in.
That's
Well,
right.
you thought about
I thought
it.
about
You
it.
helped
I did.
like direct some
I
of the
directed
things and the people.
and I said, "You go
and-
dance." I'm not doing that. But Ellen, for you, I would dance. I would dance on your show. Did I really just say that?
You did.
Ellen, don't put Miss Ebbe on your show. I can't dance. I can't dance in public. But Ellen, I would.
You
I would
sure
dance.
can. You know
I
how
would
many-
shake my thing
Yeah,
for you. I
yeah.
would. You get this one on your show, you will get me to dance, which is really a Herculean task. And I would do it, and I would do it. I can't say happily, but boy, would I do it.
Oh, I think there would be happy feelings.
There would
Even
certainly be
in-
emotion.
Well, yes,
There would be
yes.
emotion.
I don't doubt that. I will
Smiles, which really would be laughter, but I would do it. I would put myself. Ellen, I would dance on your show for this woman here.
Yeah, we danced at school dances before. She's a good dancer.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
not
not a true
her. It's
statement.
not like
We
if
did
there's an
dance
empty
together, but this
dance
is-
floor, she's not the first to go on it, which, you know,
21st
it's okay.
or 101st, or
Maybe.
really I don't. But with Kayla, I do, because she's worth it. She's worth getting on your show. I will dance with her on your show. I will dance by myself. And Ellen, I will dance with you on your show. I will dance. I don't dance. I will dance.
Anything else that you want to say that you would do? I'm
You know what?
excited.
This is a family show, so but I would do.
Okay, yes.
I really would like to see this one on your show. I would do kind and good things, and
Yeah.
happy things, and healthy things, and be the
course.
amazing role model that I am.
Exactly.
I would do all the things.
You lead by
I
example.
would do all the
You are.
things. Yeah. Let's just say pie in the face, or
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I just say
You
that?
remember that one time that you put you squeezed chocolate into my mouth?
I
and you were
remember
like-
that.
I was just watching that video last night, and
I would do that, Ellen. I would definitely do that on your show.
she'd be the recipient of somebody just like moving the
know.
chocolate all around on her face.
Maybe. While dancing.
While dancing.
I would
dancing
dance
with Ellen.
chocolate dripping from the rafters,
Oh,
catching as much as I could in my mouth.
she's good at catching and shooting balls into
this
the
is
net.
not a true statement. This is the same thing with dancing. It's a gross motor skill. I am not solid with that, but I would shoot basketball hoopers on your show, Ellen. I would do all of the athletic things. I would
She
that I would
gets
do.
A for effort and putting herself out
I
there.
put myself out there.
She does,
I would do
and
that.
and on that note, she puts herself out there in a way that she doesn't expect our students to do things that are uncomfortable for them without demonstrating that
Most
herself.
definitely. Most
So
definitely.
this would be an example of that
I will
on
do
your
that.
show.
I will do that. Because this would benefit all students and all teachers and all educators and all mental health professionals.
Can you imagine the impact, Allie?
of my dancing?
Of
The
your
impact of my
dancing.
dancing?
And-
wow, Ellen, you don't know what you're missing. This amazing.
But she will when
I
she
will do
gets
it. I
the
will do it.
98th letter. So let's
Let's go to the
get that in
mailbox.
the
All right,
mail.
high five.
High five.
High five. Let's do it.
Thank you, Allie, so much
Thank
for
you.
being part of this Educator Chipotle Challenge and doing an Educator Shout Out interview.
My pleasure.
And Kayla Ebbe.
Alison Kimmel. Oh, you probably wanted to end it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
you're-
just
no,
took
you're
the
fine.
spotlight.
You're fine.
Because I'm a dance.
What would
so-
you want to say?
That's all. I just want to say my name. So say your name again.
Say my name. Say my name.
Say another word.
Say I love you.
Say my name, say my name.
Alison Kimmel.
Kayla Ebbe.
Alan DeGeneres. Okay, we're gonna go to the mailbox. Much love.
See you in
Keep it
LA.
real. Yeah. Hey. 98th letter to Ellen.
Get Miss Ebbe on your show.
on your show.
What a great show that would be. Oh my gosh.
Holy.
I would watch it. I mean, I watch it anyway, but I would definitely watch it.
Oh my gosh, we'd have to DVR that thing and have a party. And oh my gosh, that would be something
Especially
to.
if I'm dancing on it. 'cause
Well, yeah, that's the
everybody
only
would wanna see
reason.
that, right?
That's the only reason anybody would want to see it, especially one of our good friends, Lainey Pickett,
Lainey Pickett. Oh my gosh.
whose birthday it is today.
Happy birthday, Lainey Pickett.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lainey. Happy birthday to you. Do do do.
Do.
Another amazing educator and
Yes,
friend
shout out to Lainey.
and human being, doing great things in the world.
Yep.
But back to the show that she would be watching, which
Or
would be
dancing
so
with
amazing.
me on.
Oh,
I mean, really,
gosh,
we
yeah.
could
I
have
mean,
a group of us dance because
gosh.
we're probably pretty spectacular, with the exception of me. But then
believe
if
that
they're
we
all
are.
around me, then focus on the dancers and let the shy girl just kind of slink back. What about that?
I think we can do whatever you want to do, Goo.
Except if the chocolate sauce is dripping on me, then it would be hard to not see me.
I just started calling you. I just said Goo instead of Boo.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's fine.
That's
you know,
fine.
that's just
Chocolate goo.
Chocolate Goo, yeah.
I'll be your goo. 98.
98 out of 111. Oh my gosh!
This is the one, Kayla.
Like the impact of the ECC in general, I believe has been great and more than I ever thought that it would be. And then to have it on on Ellen's show and then be able to like share that with the world. And I mean, there's so many initiatives out there that are improving mental health services and access to for students, and improvement of the training for educators in that area, and the advocacy that educators are like hustling on to get compensated in a way that allows them to live comfortably, like relatively comfortably.
My charity of choice is Da Vinci Charter Academy. I choose to spend most of my charitable donations in my classroom just because I need supplies and there's really not money for them. So wouldn't it be nice where I'd be able to give that money to a different charity?
Mm-hmm.
But hundreds upon hundreds of dollars every year goes to the charity of Da Vinci Charter Academy. It'd be nice to give it somewhere else.
Yep.
All right.
Ellen, here's to making a difference together, rallying together to support educators and students. Letter 98.
Do you want to do it, Kayla, or shall I do it?
You can do the honors,
Okay,
Allie.
this is it. This is the one, 98. Ready? That's it. That's it.
That's all she wrote, except not, because I've got, 12 more? 98, 99, 100,
wait,
1,
what's
2,
the
3,
math?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Nice finger calculators.
13.
Good job using those.
Thanks.
Did you want to dance back to the house while I film you?
Sure.
Okay. All right, Kayla, you dance back. Ellen, this could be on your show. All these moves, right? Look at this. Look at this. Who does that? Right? Work it, girl. Work it. Right? Dancing in Woodland. Dancing her way to LA to be on the Ellen show. There it is. Or shall I say, whoop, there it is.
Whoop, there it is.
Now you can say that.
Pump the jam, you'll pump it up, cause tonight, aggressive, B-E, aggressive, hit it.
Don't. Run a man. Don't. Nice.
You.
Excellent. Almost there. Dance to the door.
Ellen.
98th letter, Ellen. Look at how much joy this one has. 98th letters, get Ebbe on your show. What? There it is. Look, the trees are in bloom. Flowers are blooming. It's a beautiful day for letter 98. There it is. Work it. Nicely done. Got a big finale?
Ellen, give Miss Ebbe on your show. I love you.
Love you, Ellen. Peace.
Allie, what types of mental health challenges do you see our faces challenging?
I see so many in our faces. I see lots of mental health in our faces. Are we going to stop this now?
Yeah. Okay. Allie, what? Allie, what types of mental health? Mental health.
Having a mental health. You suck. Okay, we have to get this out of our system. Okay, I'm almost there. Did that ever happen to you in school? You were sitting in a classroom and the teacher was getting so mad because you couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, it still somewhat happens to me. And, like when students are being goofy or just like you're being funny during a meeting or an interview, and
like
you're I just try to talk to you and you're just laughing at the world or me or mental health.
Whew. Okay, I think I have it together now. Problem is you don't.